and it's kind of a next phase to look at kind of our bus maintenance facilities, and the idea that we would need a new facility in the near future. So the primary kind of opportunities or skills that we're going to be looking for this, it's going to be, transit planning, looking for stakeholder public engagement. There will be engineering involved, obviously environmental review and analysis associated with the sites that we're going to be looking at for a new bus facility. So the plan is to, like I said, to release the RP later this spring, and then award a contract this summer. So with that, I guess I'll turn it over back to Alexis. If there's any questions from the group, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, just to summarize, Bill, I guess we have potential scopes related to, you said, engineering, planning, and maybe public engagement, right?
Yes.
Do you see, when do you see this RFPs or IFPs going out for solicitations, at least a range of time between what month during the year?
I would likely say it would probably be later in March or April in terms of when it would come out. It'd probably, give a 30-day kind of response time typically.
That's great. And what type of businesses are you looking, especially like engineering companies or planning companies or a combination? What type of businesses can actually perform this specific contract?
Yeah, typical people that we would engage on this would be, like I said, planning and engineering firms. Also, firms that specialize in public and stakeholder engagement as well. Firms that, have an expertise in environmental analysis would be kind of another kind of element to this.
That's great. Any questions in the chat, Jose or Vashi, for Bill? I don't see anybody. I don't know if I miss any question.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Well, Bill, thank you very much. That was sweet and fast. Appreciate it. Looking forward for those opportunity for our consulting, potential teams to help RTD to get those contracts going. All right. So now let's move to from capital programs, Jyotsna Vishwakarma. Jyotsna is our acting assistant general manager, and she will be talking specifically about capital programs contracts. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis. So as introduced, I am the acting Jyotsna Vishwakarma, acting assistant general manager of capital programs. And my purview is pretty much most of infrastructure and facilities projects. So we have a large volume of upcoming projects, and a number of them are, they are of all scales, but a number of them are smaller and medium-sized projects. So looking forward to having people be able to bid on them.
Joshua,
So yes,
if you don't mind, can I just interrupt for a second?
Yes.
There was a question, Alexis, from Dan for Bill. So just wanted to make sure we answered that before we moved on to capital programs, if that's okay.
Yeah. What is the question?
Dan Davis asked, did Bill say where the location will be on the new bus terminal?
This is Bill again. No, we do not. I mean, we have some ideas, but we do not have the specific location determined yet. That's going to be done through this effort. So we will be looking at multiple sites and evaluating them to see which is the preferred site.
Great.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. All right, we can resume maybe in the break between presentation. Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway,
next, please. So new for us this year, we plan to have a solicitation for bridge maintenance in Q2 of this year. So this is intended for bridges system-wide for RTD. excluding the bridges that are on A, B, and G lines. And we would be looking for a variety of work to be done, which is general maintenance work all the way to specialized bridge work. So a lot goes into keeping bridges in good condition. Some of the things that we would be looking at are clearing vegetation. It can be grass or trees or anything in between. Keeping drains clean, cleaning out, making sure they're functioning. There's an element of painting metallic bridges or applying coatings to some other types of bridges. Before that, bridges have to be cleaned before any kind of coating and painting can happen. Cleaning out bearings of bridges. These are rollers on which the bridges move. Sealing joints and then sealing concrete decks. So a spectrum of services under this umbrella. This contract will also have a heavy component of traffic control because the bridge work affects the roadways below, and the coordination needs to happen with the roadway authorities to ensure that we are managing the closures safely. So I'm going to transition over to the next group of work, and that is related to heating, ventilation, air conditioning, or as they are called, HVAC projects. So we are in the process of replacing out our aging equipment, and we have a solicitation currently open to replace equipment at 3 locations. One is Mariposa, the other is Ilati, and the third is Security Command Center. Mariposa and Security Command Center are actually close to each other. And then later on this year, we expect to come out with a solicitation to replace rooftop units at our Boulder facility. And these kind of projects usually involve working with our engineering and maintenance groups in the facility. It's somewhat more difficult to work in an existing facility than in a new build environment. So it requires the coordination of making sure that everybody is safe as we work in an environment with a lot of people and operations. Next, please. Then another project we have in our main district shops that we expect will come out in the second quarter. We need to replace hoists. And what hoists are? These are equipment to raise the buses so people can work underneath them. So RTD is in the process of standardizing the types of hoists that we use. This is to help us maintain them also and just have a better system. So associated with that, there will be concrete and electrical work within the facilities because the new hoists are a different size than the existing hoists. So again, just the work around concrete and electrical. Next, please. Then the next group of projects we have are what I would call flat work or civil work, mostly concrete work. So we have a street improvements contract currently open. This is mostly for bus stop, curbs, and any bus paths that we need to build in the public right-of-way. Needless to say, very heavy traffic management component dealing with the jurisdictions who have varying philosophies around closures and the time we can get to do this work. So this is system-wide. Then we'll have a project advertised, which was actually bid once before. This is to modify the US and 36 and Sheridan bus bays. Right now, the bus bays are straight, and to make the operations work better, we need a different configuration. So again, work on an active bus facility with a lot of bus movement. Then we will be advertising reconstructing rail at Calumet in downtown Denver. So the rail running downtown has a red concrete top. And when we go and build rail downtown, we will also be affecting the adjacent sidewalks. So along with this work, there's traffic management, all the support services that come with working on the street network. And then very last, we have a project called, which is related to improving safety and mobility on Highway 119 between Boulder and Longmont. So for that project, we will be seeking to build 21 enhanced bus stops with shelters and amenities. And we expect that to come out in the last quarter of this year. And next, please. And our very last project that's likely to come out is expanding Denver Union Station downtown. This involves adding turnstiles and ticket vending machines into the bus concourse. There's electrical changes. We will do some internal reconfiguration. This project was bid one time before. So that's what we have for the time being. Are there any questions?
Any questions so far, Horacio or Zed? Have you seen any?
No, I don't see any new questions in the chat.
Yeah, Josina, one of the things I noticed, we have a lot of construction projects, remodeling or maintenance as well. So the first one that you mentioned is bridge. And I believe you mentioned it's going to be one contract that includes many different scopes, right? The bridge maintenance contract.
That's how we are thinking of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Which I can notice that we got drain, cleaning, coatings. So there's going to be different scopes. And you said potentially Q2. So anytime in between April and June, that's when we anticipate to advertise the contract then.
Yes.
Great.
And this is this is contemplated as a work order type of contract. So
Got it. And then
Alexis,
we have yes.
Sorry, we have two questions in the chat. One of them is Union Station project going to be a design build? And the second question, will you keep the same ticket vending machine design?
So I'll answer the first question first. The Union Station project is actually a design bid build. We do have plans and they are, as I mentioned, they were bid once before. And about the ticket vending machine design being the same, I have not kept up with our ticket vending machine solicitations. I would have to, I cannot give an answer right now. I would say that we have a space allocated for ticket vending machines and we need the communication and electricity and security infrastructure change to be basically to do the wiring at the back end.
Great. So what would be your advice, Joyce, to small or local businesses to contact RTD in preparation, to work on all the projects that you mentioned pretty much during the whole year?
So I would say please follow our Open Gov platform. There's a way to sign up for upcoming solicitations. And that show, we do advertise for quite a few weeks, I believe. So that should allow people ample time to be prepared.
That's great. Just so you know, I'm aware of many of these projects, and we anticipate to set either DBE or SBE goals in some of them. Some will be federally funded, some will be locally funded. So keep an eye on those. Capital Programs has a lot of work for local, specifically certified firms as well. General contractors, asphalt, concrete, electrical, all of them can be involved in those projects. So just keep an eye, like Justin was saying, OpenGov will be the best way to just to follow those opportunities. Any?
Yeah, there's
Mhm.
we have a couple questions. You already answered one about the goal assigned to these contracts. Some of them will have some goals, some of them don't, but we don't know exactly which ones yet. But to answer the question, yes, some of them will have goals. But
Yes,
there's a
hold on, just to follow that particular question,
yeah,
if the project has a goal, you will see it in the title. So once you go to OpenGov, the title will be, for example, concrete removal, or let's say, roofing on any particular area. It will have specific it will have a specific amount of goal if the project has a goal next to the title. So you'll see it ahead of time. You'll see the instructions for bidders or proposers that the contract will have a goal, and yes, you will be notified since day one.
okay. Thank you, Alexis. And we also have here, are all these projects, sorry, what is the anticipated construction date for these projects?
So I would say we have an idea of when the solicitation date is, and we would ask, we would either prescribe a schedule or say, when can you do it? So I don't have that level of detail today. The projects are all different, and scheduling them has its own challenges. In a lot of cases, if you are in the public right of way, you have to deal with the jurisdictions so that they will allow you to construct it. Something like Denver Union Station is very high profile. So, when would we do that? So I would say we would like it done soon after the projects are awarded, understanding that there is a lot involved in actually scheduling the work to be done.
Excellent. Thank you. And another one here is the Boulder Maintenance Facility project a bid build or a design build?
Okay, I'll have to pass on this one. We could do design bid build, performance specs, other, any direct, I don't have that level of detail right now.
Okay, thank you. And that's all we have in the chat for now.
I
Great.
just want to piggyback on something, Alexis. There's another project that was awarded and then re-put out, so it should either be hitting the market now or within a week or so, and that is another 3 rooftop units, HVAC units here for district shops, and that's close to it's a Platte River, so it's 36th in Washington or 31st in Washington area, so that should be coming up on OpenGov here shortly also, just to put it out there.
Super. Great. Well, if there's no more questions for Joyce related to those capital programs, we appreciate Joyce your time. You're more than welcome to stay. And if there's any other question, we can get back to you. Well, I see other question. Will any of these
Yes.
projects funding be impacted by the current administration?
So I'll take that one. The list of projects that we put up, they are all locally funded. Okay. So I will just say in this forum that RTD is really starting to put out a lot of state of good repair projects, and that is with local funding.
So most likely won't have any impact with the current administration, which is great.
Yes.
All right. Once again, if you wanted to know more about this particular project, go to OpenGov. I'm going to talk a little bit about OpenGov at the end of the meeting, but hopefully you're going to get involved. If you're not interested, if this is not the scope of work that you guys do, but you know someone else, if you know actually a local business that actually they can perform these contracts, just talk to them, invite them to visit RTD and have them involved. We RTD want small business, local business working with us. So the more you guys talk to each other about these contracting opportunities, the better chances we're going to have certified firms working in RTD. All right, so let's move now to Ron Posey, which from Capital Programs as well. He's our facilities maintenance manager. So, Ron, if you're ready, the floor is yours.
Alexis, Crystal, and Jose, thank you for setting this up. Good morning, everybody. Like you said, my name is Ron Posey. I work for Capital Programs. I work directly for Joitsna. I'm responsible for facilities. So my role at RTD is more maintaining what we've established and what we put out there. I've been with the organization for 24 years. I've been in this role for 13. And most of ours is dependent on you guys being registered with a small business because our projects are remodeling, painting, and everything that comes up. Next slide, please, Crystal. So there's some of the work we do: painting, flooring, remodel, plumbing, cleaning, and miscellaneous facility repairs. We have 7 major sites throughout the city. One's Aurora, Boulder, Lakewood in the Denver area, and downtown DUS in our administration buildings. So we perform maintenance on all those. And like I said, most of ours is ad hoc, meaning that someone will move out of an office or flooring come up or a plumbing issue come up. And what we'll do is we'll call Alexis group and we'll ask for the list of the people that are listed, and then we'll reach out to you a lot of times, or we'll use this information that you provided in the chat here, and we'll pull that information, call you, and get estimates. What we try and do, instead of doing the open gov and having to bid, we got projects that need to be done right now. So we try to shorten the length of time that it gets out for bid and everything else, so we're able to complete and satisfy our customers, because RTD is our customer. So try and get them down, provide a better environment for them. So we'll call you, ask you for the information, give you the location, have you come out, bid on a project for us. We'll put that information together. We'll provide it to our procurement, and it usually shortens the process within a couple of weeks, and everything else we're getting back to. But like I said, ours is ad hoc, and it's mostly remodeling and plumbing and painting. So as long as you're registered in there, we go for pull those names and do that.
How many
roofing
facilities we have, Ron, that you actually monitor?
So I have 7 major sites and 20 plus sub sites. So it might be a small building in Peoria, might be a building. I own a building in Longmont for RTD, but I have roughly about 29 sites that I have to maintain, 7 supervisors. So it might not be me reaching out to you. So these supervisors assign the sites, and they'll be the ones collecting the information for the estimates.
Perfect. I think we, if you wanted to continue with the next slide.
Yeah, next slide. Yeah. Again, my recommendation is make sure you're registered. We do have some small projects in OpenGov, not very much for us. Like I said, ours is a little different process from the capital programs because ours are time sensitive sometimes to get done. But yeah, if you're registered, we'll pull that information and contact you guys directly. Or if you have a lot of times I get cold calls from people on the list also for concrete and painting also. And what I do is I recommend those names to my supervisors. I give that out to them. And if that project comes out, they'll reach out to you also.
Great. So just so you guys know, we're welcoming small and certified firms, but you don't need to be certified to work with RTD. Of course not. Just contact Ron Posey. His contact information is right there. And, let him know ahead of time that you're capable and willing to do, particular job, particular, specific work that you actually can do. Jose, oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I also invite, if you guys have a contract or want to look at us or talk to my facilities, I do have a staff meeting every other week. So a lot of times I'll invite contractors and stuff to come in if they're doing landscaping or anything else, or they provide a product for our building. We invite them in and have them come and meet with my supervisors, give them 15 and 20 minutes to do their thing. We've had roofers come in. We've had painters come in. It's just so you can see my team, and it gives you a chance to also connect with my team and give out your business card.
That's awesome. So you say you have those meetings like every other week, but you can plan ahead and schedule different companies, for different dates ahead of time. So that's great. And they can contact you at that particular phone or email directly to you, right?
Yes, correct.
Perfect. All right. Any specific question, Jose or Vashi, have you seen any for Ron?
I see a question that maybe Erin can answer it when she's present her part. It's about do you guys have any job needing transportation? So I'm assuming that's a question, has it written? So I'm assuming it's transportation needs. So that is basically the question.
Okay, we can just pause and put that question, in the parking lot for a few minutes and then get back to Erin. Any other question from our participants at this point for Ron? All right, so
There's one. Are there any needs for tree services?
So in the aspect, if it's maintaining, we have our own union group that maintains them, but we do need sometimes removal that's out in the purview of the driver. So say it might be in a lane that the drivers do and the trees have grown in there where they will report that to us. And then what we do is whoever owns that property or reach out to us asking us to do it for them. But sometimes we'll give them contractors to go out and go look at that and remove that stuff to us. And also full grown trees in some of our properties where sometimes it gets busy, it's beyond our scope. So we do have or the tree removal people come in and remove this. So yes, reach out to me and I can pass your information on to the right group.
got it. Thank you very much for that answer, Ron. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for the work you're doing and the kind of opportunities you provide for small and disadvantaged group as well. We appreciate that. Now let's move then to IT, from capital programs to the technical aspects in RTD. We have Rose Boilma to address this presentation, to talk to us a little bit about a contracting opportunity. So Rose, the floor is yours now. Go ahead.
Thank you, Alexis. Appreciate it. As Alexis said, my name's Rose Polma. I am the manager of the Program Management Office within IT. My group specializes in what we call business projects with an IT component. So a lot of our projects are those business systems, software and hardware. So you'll notice that in these projects that it's not pure IT, usually the projects that we work on. So Crystal, next slide. Our first project, it's actually pending award. We were waiting on board approval of the contract, which I believe happened last night. I haven't checked, but I believe it was approved. And this is actually a project that we've been working on for a while. It's compliance related. The PUC, Public Utilities Commission, has required us to change out our cameras and the DVRs on the light rail vehicles so that we can make sure that we have video if anything terrible happens on a light rail vehicle. And as this slide shows, that the small business participation for this particular project may be removal of the old current equipment, be that cabling, cameras, and or the DVRs, or conversely, it could be the installation or it could be both. Till we get the notice to proceed and kick off this project and figure all that out, that's when then we'll know for sure what we're going to be doing with this one. Next slide, please. And this may answer the question that was posed earlier for Joitsna. Finally, after way too long of a time, we are getting ready to put out the procurement to replace the ticket vending machines within RTD's environment. We currently have somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 of these. As part of this project, we're going to go down to about 180-ish. So again, for the small business participation, that's where that'll come in. Some of it'll be just straight up removal of existing machines, and in others, it'll be replacing what is there. So again, cabling, infrastructure, the machines themselves. It will be on bus stations and rail platforms, so there will be requirements for safety that you have to be, especially on the rail platforms, you have to take the training and be certified that you're, excuse me, following all the rules and regulations on the rail platforms. So back to the question earlier, it's all going to come down to timing. With this procurement, once we know who the vendor is and the timing of the Denver Union Station changes, it may be the old equipment getting moved temporarily, or if we have this in place, we might be able to just put in the new stuff. It'll all just come down to timing. Another piece of this one, which is not part of my project, is there's going to be a couple options on this one. One is for the Colfax BRT project, with you might have seen in the news, there's heavy construction going on along Colfax. That will be net new ticket vending machines, about 50 of them, but that's a separate project, but they're going to use this vehicle potentially to buy those ticket vending machines for the Colfax BRT project. And there's a second option for another 150 or so ticket vending machines for 2 future BRT projects, which are way out there. They're not for sure. But again, those would be net new ticket vending machines if and when those projects happen. Next slide, please. And lastly is our bus event recorder upgrade replacement project. This one's to be determined when it will actually be advertised. We're going through some internal funding approval processes. So I don't really know how long this one will take before it is advertised. But much like the LRV one, this project is to replace the monitoring with the cameras for training of bus drivers. It records like if somebody goes through a stop sign or a red light, and so we can coach drivers that that's not safe and they shouldn't be doing that. So this is software and hardware, and for small businesses, again, removal and or installation of the cabling and the cameras within the bus fleet if and when we do this project. All right, and that's it for me this year. Any questions?
Yes, we
Yes,
have
there
a
are a few.
couple questions.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. How can a small business find out who the primes are for these projects for subcontracting opportunities?
That is on OpenGov. As we have mentioned, sign up. You will be able to see when the contracts are awarded, and you'll see who has won the contract.
Yeah, especially if those project has goal, which the TBM machines will have a DBE goal because it's federally funded. You want to actually go to OpenGov before it's awarded, because you want to get in touch with potential proposers. So that means you will hit followers, and then on the followers side, you will see the firms that are actually downloading and has shown some interest as a potential proposer. So you might want to contact those people. You will see their names, email, and contact information. So you might want to contact them and say, based on this scope of work in this RFP, I'm actually willing to do this portion of the work to help you meet whatever the goal is. So you wanted to touch base in OpenGov with them ahead of time. You can actually do it like Rose was saying, after, but usually after they already have a plan. Not that you won't have chance, but they already have a plan who's doing what portion. That's actually part of their proposal. So just, get in touch, register in OpenGov. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes as well.
Yeah, as Alexis said, OpenGov out on the RTD website, it's amazingly easy to use. You can see stuff that's advertised. You can see when they're pending award. You can see when it's awarded. Super easy to use. It's a really nice system.
We have another question. Do you require to have signage translated?
Don't think that's for me.
Maybe, I don't know if Bill is still there. Or Joyce can. We do have some translations needed in some of the projects for maybe TBMs or the ones that Rose was talking. I don't think you have a specific details on whether or not we're going to have any needs for translating signage. Josna, do you have any knowledge, or Bill, if you are still there, if you have any specific knowledge about the needs of translating signage?
So I'll take a crack at this. I believe this is handled out of our communication group,
Okay.
and they translate content in several languages. But I do not know the details of how they actually do it. So it's a communications group question.
All right. Would you like to add anything else, Bill, on this question? If not, I think we can move then for any specific other question, Jose. I still see more.
There was
coming.
a question if the slides were going to be shared. Crystal and Urashi already replied there in the chat that yes, the slides will be made available.
Okay. And then that question about how do we get contact info for primes, I'll talk a little bit about that at the end, but it's in OpenGov. You'll see it very easy. Again, you have to register in OpenGov and active your account. All right, so moving on. Now we're going to move to bus contracting and paratransit services, having Erin Vallejos, our senior manager for contracted services. Erin has been helping this particular group and supporting the small and disadvantaged businesses for a long time. So first of all, thank you, Erin, for that, and we'll yield the floor for you now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Erin Vallejos. I'm the Senior Manager of Contracted Services at RTD. Crystal, I don't see the slides. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. So I've been with RTD for about 12 years with bus operations for, gosh, a little bit over 7. So next slide, please. So for those of you that attended the last meeting, this may sound familiar to you because I did talk about this project at the last one. So don't think that you're having or you may feel like you're having deja vu, but what we have coming up, and it's going to be advertised very soon, is what we call our Group 34 fixed route service contract. So this is to provide not only the fixed route bus service, but also the maintenance of vehicles used to provide the service. And in addition to those vehicles, there's also what we call support vehicles that are used to support the provision of services, and it would also support the maintenance of that. Next slide, please. So this service is primarily in our Longmont and Boulder service area. There are a lot of opportunities for this. There's opportunities for providing lubricants, parts, everything kind of used in the maintenance of the vehicles. There's also opportunities for cleaning both of the vehicles themselves and also the location where the operators and vehicles are based out of. There's also opportunity for upholstery repair, fueling of the vehicles in addition to cleaning tires. There's opportunities for uniforms, tow truck services, glass repair and replacement. There's opportunities for landscaping, lot cleaning. So I've seen a lot of comments, the tree question. Again, there's landscaping opportunities for these. So Alexis is going to talk about OpenGov a little bit. In addition to that, we do have a pre-meeting once the RFP is issued, and that would be a great opportunity for DBEs and SBEs to connect with primes that are interested in bidding. So not only in addition to OpenGov, but also that meeting, I really encourage everyone to attend because there are a lot of opportunities to support the primes in this contract. And then sorry, Alexis, circling back, we did parking lot the question about transportation services. So something that I'm not sure is going to be advertised this year, which is why I did not put it in this presentation. But based on the company that the person, I believe, indicated that they worked with, which was non-emergency medical transportation. A great opportunity for that one would be our access on demand. There will be an RFP coming out for that. Again, I didn't think it was going to be for this year, which is why I did not include it in this presentation. But I will put together a slide for that, Alexis, and provide it to Crystal so that can be shared, since there was a question specific to those types of services. So we'll get that updated as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Erin. Do we have any question related to bus contracting services, Rashi or Jose?
There is a question. It's not clear. I would ask if they can clarify that a little bit more, but how can we get involved in transportation projects? And he's saying he's an LLC company. I would advise, like we have discussed here, go on OpenGov and check for those contracts that involve the type of work that your company do. Then we have here, when is the next meeting, our next DBAC meeting?
April 30th.
April 30. For Erin specifically, could you please repeat the details for the meeting you mentioned?
Yeah, so we don't have it scheduled yet. That will be part of the actual request for proposal process. So when we do put the request for proposals out, we will schedule a meeting. Again, that will be specifically to talk about DBE and SBE opportunities. So again, just be on the lookout for when the RFP is issued. It will have those details. And again, I encourage everyone to attend because I think that'll be a great way to connect.
And we got clarification on that question. Apparently, this person, they have a non-emergency medical transportation service type of company. So do you have information about that, Erin?
Yeah, so that is the one I was talking about for our paratransit access on demand program. Again, I will get Crystal a little bit more detailed information because, like I said, I didn't think the RFP was going to be issued this year, but I do think that that would be a great opportunity for that type of company to look into.
Excellent. That's what we have so far in the chat.
Super.
And I could, if you're a small business, specifically a DBE, we could potentially get you in contact with the primes that are currently overseeing that contract, and then you could be a subcontractor for them as well. So I know that they do subcontract out some non-medical transportation. You might be interested in that. I will put my contact information in there, and I could help and provide that information for you as well.
Yes. And then any specific service that you would like to, offer RTD could be submitted through unsolicited proposals. That means you can put together a proposal and we can talk a little bit about that. You can just send me an email. I can share my information again, or you can just send an email to SBO and I'll, share with you specific details or steps to submit any unsolicited proposal. That means anything that has not been posted or solicited through OpenGov, but you still want to offer those kind of services or products to RTD, you can do it through the unsolicited proposal process. With that said, one clarification, the Transit Equity Office oversees the language access plan for pretty much every contract. You'll see in specific contracts if there is particular needs for translating to any specific language, and you'll see it, those details. So under civil rights, we do have, that specific office that will review and will include those aspects, if applies for any particular contract. With that said, do you see any other question, Jose or Rashi, to move on to the next presenter? Nope.
I think we're good right now.
Good.
I
All
think
right.
there's one question. I don't know whether we answered that or not, but Mukatar was asking, my question to Erin is who I can contact for medical transportation.
I guess Crystal mentioned that, or she mentioned we will include some information about those type of services in the slides that we're going to be sharing later today. And also, if it's not related to the specific proposal, that's exactly what I just mentioned. You can just send information to procurement team in a very particular way, but I'll be more than happy to share more information to this specific person, Mukhtar, I guess. All right, so moving on, now we have Chad Apohalmus from DTO or Denver Transit Operators. And they're actually taking care of several, services that we subcontract, especially systems that goes to commuter rails that goes to the airport and some others. So Shadi, if you wanted to share a little bit more information about you, how DTO is helping, now that is your turn.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. You guys see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, so my name is Chad Polhamus. I am the procurement and contracts manager here at Denver Transit Operators. And who are we? We operate, or we're contracted by RTD through DTP through a concession agreement to operate and maintain the commuter rail service for the Denver metro area, also known as the P3 project. So we operate and maintain the A, B, and G lines, the rolling stock, all the trains, track and bridges, systems and communications, signal and train control, traction power, the facility stations, and CRM. Upcoming contracts, we don't have very many as of yet, but as we all know, things can change very quickly. So we are looking for a concrete and asphalt contractor to help us with repairs, patchwork and parking lots for the entire alignment, platforms, stations. I'm not sure if it'll be open for bid, but we would prefer obviously an SBE for these kinds of roles. So if you guys have any experience with that, please reach out. Potential contracts, like I said, we do have some electrical maintenance coming up that we will probably be looking at to bid out, as well as HVAC, potentially at the late 25, but most likely 26. And the rest of these landscape, janitorial, snow, all it's going to be about 2027. With that said, though, we're always looking at SBEs to our contact list, and things can come up very quickly. So I encourage everybody to, if you're interested or have something you think we need, please send me the info so I can add you to our list. A non-contract opportunity that's kind of came up. We lost our print SBE. So print for like shirts, jackets, coffee mugs, stuff like that, logo stuff. We used them quite a lot. So if you guys have any of that, please reach out to me. And yeah, so here's our contact information. You can visit our website for more information, and obviously you can email me directly for any other questions or just to give me your information add to our lists.
Great chat. So we have a 12% SBE goal on the contract with DTO. This contract is supposed to be expiring on 2044. Am I right, Chad?
Sounds about right. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that means pretty much they will have to, and they're actually meeting and exceeding the 12%. Very, very great, way that they work with small businesses. The communication has been great. So yeah, just keep touching bases with Chad. If you're wanting to do business, this will be directly through DTO, but again, you'll be working somehow related to RTD anyways. So thank you. Any question related to Chad's presentation, Jose? Do you see any or Vashi?
I have a question, but not. It's for Erin actually.
Okay.
It just came late. The question is, are there prime contracts for services for paratransit or standard bus services that are going to be open this year, as well as are there going to be DBE opportunities for those?
Yes, so Group 34, that is going to be our standard bus service. That contract does end in January of 2026. That will be what we are issuing the RFP for here, hopefully in Q1. So again, any day now into March. So definitely be on the lookout for that in OpenGov. There are going to be DBE opportunities as part of that contract. For our paratransit services, those are not going to be open this year for our standard paratransit services. But again, we are going to be going out for either an RFP or RFQ. I do apologize. I'm not sure exactly which one for our access on demand services. So I will be providing Crystal with a little bit more information on that. But that is not our standard paratransit contract. Those are not open this year. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you. And there's another one for you, Erin. When you mention recruiting opportunities, what types of positions are you looking for?
Yeah, so that's going to be primarily, again, for the Group 34 contract. So, that's primarily the positions would be operators, mechanics. That is a large part of their workforce. But there are also supervisory roles. Obviously each contract has a couple of key positions that are listed as part of the RFP. But the primary workforce on those contracts, again, are operators and mechanics.
Excellent. That's no new questions so far.
All right. Any question for Chad? No questions. All right. Let's move on. Okay. So what are the next steps? If you want to help me with the presentation, Crystal, I'm going to move on this one really fast. We're actually, this meeting is supposed to be until 10:15. So stay with us because this part of information is really important. If you already know some of it, just share the information with someone else if you want to as well. So the next step on how to do business with RTD, you can move, will be first registering in OpenGov. We've been talking about OpenGov. That's RTD's procurement portal. So you need to register to do business with RTD. How do you find this? First of all, just type in Google, for example, or any other searcher, doing business with RTD. You're going to land in this page. And the first things you're going to do is you're going to click on this first tab right there. And that will help you register in your firm. Just next. So first of all, has no cost. Different from other procurement portals, RTD is not charging anybody. In the past, we used to somehow at least once, but not anymore. So you will have access to get notifications on IFBs, RFPs, or RFQs. So you'll get those emails if you actually sign up as a vendor. But that's not enough. Let's move to the next slide. So once you actually register, you have to activate your account. So in order to activate your account, you will receive an email after registering your firm, and you're gonna just follow easy step, clicking on that particular side, that says activate your account, and then you're gonna start adding your information in order to get access to all the goodies about OpenGov. Move next. So the third step here is just to enter your information. You're gonna really register your firm, not only an email to get notifications, but you're gonna have to add your name, your last name, your company name, your contact information. What would it be? The phone number, email, all that stuff. With that said, once you do that, you're gonna be able to download and upload bids and proposals. So if you want to get access to the full blast of OpenGov, you have to follow these steps. And again, it won't take you more than 4 or 5 minutes to do so. If you want to submit questions on active solicitation, you have to register your firm. If you want to look for other interested firms to partner with, like as a subcontractor, and see who else actually is interested, you have to register your firm. You have to go through these particular steps. Next. And then once you do that, you're going to set up your own profile. Again, this is free. You're going to add your logo. You're going to add your commodity or NAICS codes, your vendor's profile. This is a great marketing tool for you. So all managers can actually see in OpenGov, what are the firms that we have registered to do business with RTD. Again, if you want to do business with RTD, this is the way. This is the way. And again, it's free, it's easy. We don't have all firms that we know are certified as small businesses registered in OpenGov. We would like to get more information on the why, but we just want to welcome you to follow these easy steps and finish your process. I mean, it's very easy. And again, you're going to add more information. If you have only added your email and you're getting the notifications, stop today, And please finish the process of, registering your firm completely. All right, so move next. That's pretty much part of registering your firm, adding your commodity codes, and if you are certified. So once you do that, you're going to be able to see current solicitations, upcoming solicitations, contract pending award, or contract that has been awarded. So if you, for example, click in current solicitation and hit next, you'll see the opportunities that are being posted right now. And then you go and click on any of those, and more information will be open for you. Again, if you are fully registered, you're going to be able just to download and eventually upload if you're interested, or submit questions. So you have to finish the whole process to get access of the full capacity of OpenGov. But again, this is the first step. So for all of you, the first step is register your firm to do business with RTD. Move next. On the top of that,
I think, would you mind if I mentioned, once you click on the contract, there's some tabs there that says followers, and that's where you can find your primes and your small businesses, because there was a few questions with that. So let me see if I can go back. So yeah, if you click on like request for information, if you click on that contract or that RFI, you can see who's downloaded everything and who's interested, and then you can reach out to those companies, and contact information is in there as well. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, the followers, thank you, Crystal. The followers is going to be on the right side of that particular screen. Once you click on any of those projects, and like Crystal is saying, you will have the chance to get information, the contact information, the email, the name of those particular potential proposers or bidders. So you can just offer your services and do some networking to get involved in those particular contracts.
Alexis, somebody is asking if we could show them. Would you mind if we took a minute? I'll stop sharing, get to the site.
We do have a couple more minutes, definitely.
Okay, let me get that page going.
Yeah, just stay with us for another minute or two, because there's a little bit more information, very important, that we want you to hear.
Do you all want to be answering some questions? I should post
Yes.
that up. So, wait, let me see that. So Ivan asks, I'm registered in OpenGov. OpenGov shows me all the solicitations, but I do not see where I can see the awarded primes. The awarded tab on shows contracts my firm has been awarded.
That will be the tab that Crystal is actually showing. Crystal, if you don't mind clicking there.
Okay, so should I move to the next question?
Yeah, that will be the one that you wanted to see. What's the next question?
Are there any opportunities for leadership development, training, strategic planning, or others that are coming up this year?
I have seen some potential opportunities coming. They will be posted in OpenGov. Again, the way to know is going to OpenGov, at least visiting OpenGov. I will say in a weekly basis, take a couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes. You can go to upcoming solicitations and see what has not been posted officially, but it's coming, and be ahead of anybody else. If you see that particular opportunity coming, then you just schedule yourself some time to go to current solicitation until it's officially posted. If you go to current solicitation, if you don't mind clicking there, then you'll see the ones that are being advertised or solicited at this moment. And like I was mentioning, next to the title, you'll see whether or not it has a DBE or SBE goal. So the first one has a 15% SBE goal. The second one has 15% SBE goal. The third one has no goal. The fourth one has 15% SBE goal. And then if you click on any of those, go ahead and click where you were, you'll get to followers. And that's where we were talking, and some of you guys asked for to click the followers. That's where you see who's actually following and who's actually identified themselves as potential primes. If you see, they include the title, address, emails, so you can get involved with those firms and offer your services. This is the best way to contact these firms. You don't have to wait until there is a solicitation there, but if you don't know who to contact, this is the best way to take advantage of OpenGov. All this will actually enhance your opportunities to do business with RTD through either being a prime or a subcontractor. Anything else that you want to share, Crystal, in OpenGov?
I think that's good. I mean, these 4 tabs are really beneficial. So, I mean, becoming a vendor registered in there, I mean, I think it's irreplaceable.
It's just great.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Anyway,
visit them. I will say.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Now we say just visit OpenGov. Don't wait until you get those notifications. Just visit OpenGov at least once a week, couple of minutes, and that will be great. All right. So what else do we know to enhance your opportunities to do business with RTD? That will be getting certified or completing the process to be certified as an SBE. And now we have Tony Pinkham, which is our SBE certification specialist, that will talk to you for a couple of minutes about this. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Alexis. Good morning, everybody. Like Alexis said, my name is Tony Pinkham. I'm the SBE certification specialist here at RTD. I'm just going to go through a quick little rundown on how and why to get SBE certified with RTD real quick. So if you're not certified as an SBE with RTD, just pay attention to these next couple slides, and we'll give you some how and why to register as a SBE or get certified as an SBE with RTD. So Crystal, if you could go to the next slide, please. All right, so why should your firm be a certified SBE with RTD? What makes us kind of unique is the first bullet point here is no cost for processing or certification. That's something that RTD does that a lot of other agencies aren't doing. Second bullet point is going to be it's a no-cost marketing tool and increased visibility and contact with primes and agencies. So once you are SBE certified with RTD, we do enter your firm into a public-facing directory where other agencies as well as primes and subs can utilize your services because they'll have access to that directory. It's on the RTD website if you do want to visit that. Third bullet point here is contract clauses like prompt payment, retainage release, and non-termination for convenience. And then the last bullet is going to be opportunities to fulfill and count toward SBE contract goals on all locally funded projects and invitations to pre-bid meetings. So as you could see on some previous screens that Alexis and Crystal were just showing, we do have a lot of projects with SBE goals. So getting certified as an SBE through RTD will definitely be beneficial in those types of situations. So Crystal, next slide, please. And then this is kind of the how, would your firm become SBE certified. So does your firm qualify? Here's just a few main bullet points that need to be addressed for you to be able to consider if this is a good idea for you to get certified as an SBE through RTD. The first main bullet point is going to be the business must be at least 51% owned by one or more individuals whose personal net worth is less than 2.047 million. That figure did go up from last year. It used to be 1.32 million, so now there's a little bit more wiggle room as far as personal net worth. The SBE program is catered towards financially disadvantaged small businesses, so that's why this comes into play. Second bullet point is going to be the owner must be a U.S. citizen or lawfully admitted permanent resident. And then a couple other things is going to be that the average gross receipts for the business for the past 3 years cannot exceed 30.72 million. So what we'll do is we'll get your business tax returns for the last 3 years, add them all up, divide by 3, and that's the number that can exceed the 30.72 million. And then the last and most important point here is that the qualifying owners must demonstrate ownership, control, and independence of the business. So those are the 3 things that you're looking to demonstrate to us in order to be able to get SBE certified through RTD. So next slide, please, Crystal. And here is going to be how you could contact me or the SBO, Small Business Office Department, in regards to your RTD SBE certification. I'm also going to post my information in the chat as well. So you'll have it there as well, or you could just take a quick screenshot of this information and reach out to either one of those email addresses, and we'll get you on the right path and get you RTD SBE certified with us. So that's all I got for you.
Great. Thank you, Tony. Any question for Tony?
Yes.
What?
Tony, so we have a question. What is the process once your certification has expired? Do you have to start all over?
So there's going to be two dates that you need to keep an eye on. There's an annual renewal date, which will be the last day of whatever month you became certified in. So for example, say you were certified in February of last year, each year going forward on the 28th or 29th of February, some years, you will have to provide an annual update for us, which is just going to be one document that says that the ownership structure and a lot of the business hasn't changed in any major ways that we need to be aware of. And then you'll provide your firm's tax returns for the most recent year as well. And then every 6 years, we will do a recertification process. It's not as intense as the initial certification, but there is a little bit more documentation that's required every 6 years.
And how long does certification take?
Yeah, so another unique thing about RTD is we are getting certifications done in, roughly 1 to 2 weeks, closer to the 1 week side of things. So we're definitely getting them knocked out pretty quickly. I know that, some other agencies are taking, 45 days plus to get them done. So if you do want an SBE certification in a timely manner, then definitely reach out to us and we'll get that taken care of for you.
And it's free of cost. I can tell you, Tony sometimes actually do the turnaround in 3 days. So if you have all documents needed, he will do it right away, and you'll get the certification letter, and you'll be added to the certification database, which now it's going to be through B2G, which is the same system that CDOT and City and County of Denver are using at this moment. So again, RTD certification is a great tool to enhance opportunity to do business with RTD, and the process is free and it's quick. Very easy. So anything, if you need any clarification about what Tony just mentioned, just send him an email. Information is there. We're going to share this presentation with you, and we're going to see you hopefully in April 30, which is our next DBAC meeting. So if there is no more questions, we appreciate your time. I don't want to finish before asking if there's any more questions, Jose or Rubashi.
Well, there are a few questions that were there before. There's one about whether RTD manages all the public relations in-house, or do we do this via contracts, in our contracts?
So what is the question again? Sorry, I was actually reading. Is the question for me, or can you answer the question, Jose?
Yeah, does RTD manage all public information and outreach for its projects, or are there opportunities for subcontracting? In general, each of our contracts, that they might have, some of them, not all of them, have these requirements, public information or outreach. The ones that do have that requirements, those primes usually take care of that by either subcontracting, looking for DBEs or SBEs to do that part, which, by the way, that's one of the areas where we usually have a lot of companies that work on our contracts, or they can do it in-house. But experience tells us that this is one of the areas where primes usually look for opportunities to meet those goals that we set.
Yes, you have to go to OpenGov and specifically read the RFPs or IFBs and see if those scopes are included. And then most likely you can offer your services right there. So we have
Janice
any
has
other
a question. Yes, Alexis. Janice has a question. She's asking, who do I get in touch with about graphic design services? I'm already registered, but have not seen a single graphic design job.
Yeah, I guess the best way is just to keep an eye on OpenGov. You're more than welcome to send me an email or send SBO an email, and we're gonna, if you want to go back to that particular slide where we have the email, I think it's the previous one from SBO, and we'll try to direct you, to specific areas. But the best way to know is just, visiting OpenGov. So it's becoming a great tool. You will see the names, who's the procurement agent, who are the project managers involved, and then you'll have chances to submit questions during the solicitation period. You'll get answers on those. Everybody actually will get answer to the specific questions you ask within the time frame, and potentially you get involved in those contracts if you actually follow those particular steps. And I see that if we have host in-person events, We will eventually. We just did one in August last year. We tried to come up with more virtual. It has been really successful to do virtual, having more than 100 people attending versus maybe 30, 20 something. But we're more than welcome to have you in person if you need to have a meeting anyways. And again, thank you very much. It's already 10:14, 1 minute left. See this QR code that we're showing here, Jose, if you want to, share specific instructions.
Yes, please. We would love to hear your feedback, see if you have any comments, any areas that we can improve for our next meeting. So if you could please scan that QR code and give us that information, that feedback, we would really, really appreciate that.
Yes, just let us know whether or not you like this presentation. And again, thank you very much. It's 10:15. So we're going to conclude this presentation and see you again in April 30th, which is our next TBAC. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.